Hey, good morning everybody. This is Mr. Ainsworth. We're going to get into drill 7 and talk about how to graph a line in slope-intercept form. Now, I'm talking about the famous y equals mx plus b right here. It's called slope-intercept form for a reason. M stands for the slope, all right? M, this variable here, the coefficient of x, equals the slope, all right? And b right here represents your y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, that's what that stands for, where the line, all right, crosses or meets the y-axis. That's called the y-intercept. All right, and you can determine both the slope and the y-intercept just by looking at the equation. Oh, and one more thing about the slope. That's rise over run, as you guys know. Okay, so there are two definitions for m and b. What we want to do is just analyze them here, and then go ahead and go over how to graph these. All right. So let me write this equation off to the side. We're talking about y equals 2/3 x plus 3 here. Notice that the slope here is 2/3, and the y-intercept is 3. So 2/3 is the slope. In fact, you know what? Let me write it a little bit better here. 2/3 is the slope. The y-intercept is 3, or what we say is 0, 3. In general, it's always 0, b. For the y-intercept, always. It's on the y-axis, so the x-coordinate has to be 0 there, so it's always 0, b. The slope is 2/3, which means up 2 because it's positive, and right 3 because it's positive, from the y-intercept. And you always want to graph the y-intercept first. All right? Plot this first. Plot the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to plot 0, 3. Here's 1, there's 2, there's 3 right here. Plot a point. And then from that, you go up 2, right 3. So we go up 2, right 3, plot a point, and then sketch your line. That's all you have to do. You want to plot 2 points. You want to plot one at the y-intercept here, at 0, 3, and then you go up 2 units, right 3 units, plot another point. This triangle shows the slope of the line right there. Okay, up 2, right 3, plot another point, up 2, right 3, plot another point, and graph your line. That's all there is to it. All right, so what we want to do is identify that. So here's the slope, there's the y-intercept, so I see a negative 1/4 for my slope. I just bring the negative and apply it to the numerator only. All right, that means a down 1, right 4. You never apply the negative to both the numerator and denominator, because that would make it positive. All right, so never do that. Just apply it to the numerator or to the denominator, one or the other one, but not both. The y-intercept there is 2, or 0, 2, and then you graph. All right, you graph or plot y-intercept first, as I said earlier. Okay, first. So 0, 2 is right here. All right, from that point, we go down 1, right 2. Excuse me, right 4. So down 1, right 4, and you're here at this point. So we started at 2 up on the y-axis. There's the y-axis, this is the x-axis. All right, from that, I go down 1, right 4, graph my line. And there we go, right there. On the next one, what you want to do is identify again. This right here is your slope, a negative 4/3. This right here is your y-intercept, so 1, b is 1, or 0, 1. And what you want to plot first, it's right here. And from that point, you want to go down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right 3. 1, 2, 3, plot a point. Down 4, that's a minus 4, right 3, and then graph your line. All right, from the 2 red points. So let's see, or I can go up 3, left 4. Oh, let me change that. I got it backwards. Up 4, left 3. So, excuse me. Let me get my line tool again. There we go. All right, make it look good. Okay, now, if you have x divided by 3, that means you have 1x divided by 3. So there's my slope, 1/3. All right, you know the coefficient of x is 1 all the time, but it's really not just 1, it's actually 1/3. So the slope is 1/3. Let me write that a little bit more clearly here. All right. And the y-intercept right here, well, that's negative 2, or 0, negative 2. All right, what does this mean? Well, we got to go up 1, right 3 from this y-intercept here. So I graph the y-intercept first. Again, this is the y-axis here, and this is the x-axis. I go up 1, okay? Up 1 is this far, and then right 3, and then up 1, right 3, and then graph a line. So I want to graph from this point to this point to this point over here. Get your line tool, and go ahead and go for it. All right. So I see here on the next one here that the slope is 5/2. This is my y-intercept, so 5/2 here. That means an up 5, right 2 from -3 or 0, -3. So I want to start here at -3. All right. From there, I got to go up 5. I got to go up 3 plus 2 more, so up 5, and then a right 3. Excuse me, right 2. What am I thinking? Okay, and then up 5, right 2. You can keep on repeating this as long as you want. Okay, up 5, right 2, up 5, right 2. Should be a 2 there. Up 1, right 3. Okay, 1, right 3. Let's graph this last line here. Here we go. And there you go. All right, and that's it, guys. It's not that hard. In the next row, we'll do standard form. That's a little bit more challenging, but this is not that hard. So identify the slope, write down the slope and the y-intercept, plot the y-intercept first. Always plot y-intercept first. I'm talking about this one. Here's a y-intercept. Okay. Always plot that first, then use the slope. All right. Not that bad. I'll see you in the next one.